Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mercedes. In today's video, I have polishes from Hella Handmade Creations for the month of December to share with you all.
Show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet.
If you haven't heard of what Hella Handmade Creations is, it's a monthly collab between indie makers. They come together and they create limited edition items. Of course, we all know it for the polish, but they make a whole bunch of other things, handmade items, cuticle oils, hand care, foot care, little trinkets, all sorts of things. Now, Hella Handmade Creations, what they do for the month for specific themes. So if there's like a holiday coming up, they'll have a separate shop within the website. So like Christmas or Halloween or Valentine's Day, some of the makers will create their own, monthly polish, but then they'll also come up with another polish based on that theme or that special theme. So for this month, we have Valentine's Day coming up. So we have pretty Valentine's Day polishes that the makers have created. Now, similar to polish pickup, there's a theme, but instead of like a common theme, there's a specific theme for the maker. So they come up with a theme, say it's like Beauty and the Beast, and they go with that for about like 4 to 6 months. So if you decide to purchase from that brand for that amount of time, you can think of it as having like a mini collection within that theme. Now, some of these items are capped, meaning that there's only a certain amount that are created, and when they sell out, that is it. You can no longer get your hands on them anymore. Hella Handmade Creations always opens the 14th of every month, and they close the 21st. Now, I have a lot to share, so let's get into it. First up, we have Alchemy Lacquers, and they are continuing their Strawberry Shortcake Dolls series. This one's inspired by sour grapes. Now, there's a cap of 200 bottles, and it's priced at $12.50. It's described as a plum jelly polish packed with green to turquoise to blue iridescent shifting flakies. This one had a very squishy-like base, just as it's described. It's a jelly polish, so I did go in for 3 coats just to sort of build it up and get that nice, bright, plummy base. I'm going to recommend 3 coats for everybody. My longer nail friends, you may see a little bit of nail line, just depending on how you polish and just how prominent your nail line is. But this is the polish in 3 coats. It is absolutely stunning. Those flakies just pop within that base. They're definitely shifty. I see the turquoise to green to blue. It almost looks like they're glimmering, like we have a touch of sparkle in there as well. But really enjoyed this. As much as this is like a more brighter, plummy sort of base, I feel like it's still very appropriate for like fall, for winter time, just because it has more of a deep purple base, if that makes sense. But pictured are 3 coats of Alchemy Lacquers Sour Grapes with a glossy top coat. Alchemy Lacquers is going to be bringing us a Valentine's Day polish, and this is Some Berry to Love, priced at $12.50, and this is a cap of 200 bottles. Now, this polish is a thermal. Again, it is going along with their Strawberry Shortcake Dolls series, and this one's inspired by strawberry shortcake. This one's a thermal, like I said, thermal. How many times I'm going to say that? It shifts from hot pink when it's cold to a light blush pink when warm, and is packed with blue to purple iridescent shifting flakies. I loved this, honestly, in both states. I've been loving thermals on my shorter nails because it gives me either like a full-blown transition, or it gives me sort of like that spacey sort of look where like some of my nail is transitioned and some of it's not, or some of my fingers are transitioned and others aren't. So you can see right here what I mean. I loved the hot pink look, and I also loved the really light blush pink. On me, it was still like this sort of like pastel Barbie like bubblegum pink. And in both states, we're able to see the iridescent shifting flakies. They're very dainty against both colors, but I really enjoyed that. This is perfect and beautiful for Valentine's Day. I'm going to recommend 2 to 3 coats for everybody. Pictured are 2 coats of Alchemy Lacquers Some Berry to Love with a glossy top coat. BCB Lacquers is bringing us this is a thermal polish. It's priced at $13.50, and there's a cap of 300, and they are continuing their fairy tale series. This one's inspired by Happy. This one's described as a cold as a teal when cold to a clear when warm, and it has green, blue, purple shimmer. This one had a fantastic formula. You can see here on the second coat I got full opacity, and my goodness, isn't this shade of blue just so stunning? We have a heaping amount of green and blue shimmer. We can see some of that purple shimmer more so, I guess I was gonna say more so in the darker state, but we can definitely see it in both states. Honestly, we see it a little bit more when it's in its warmer state. I couldn't get it to transition completely clear because I just didn't get my hands that hot. I got to this nice sort of pastel, shimmery, light blue shade. Again, another thermal that I thoroughly enjoyed, and the formula was just perfection. Pictured are 2 coats of BCB Lacquers A with the glossy top coat. BCB Lacquers is also bringing us a Valentine's Day Duo. So this is one of the polishes. I'll show you the other one shortly. But the Duo is inspired by Candy Hearts, and it's going to be priced at $27. There's going to be a cap of $200. This one we're looking at is called Let's Give 'Em Something to Taco About. I wanted to sing that, but you guys do not want to hear me singing. It's described as a mint crelly with blue, purple, and green blue flakes and green metallic flakies. Now, I'm not big on like the minty greens, baby blues, but something about this was just stunning, and I think it's because of that like green tint that we're looking at, right? We have a lot of green blue flakies. We have those green metallic flakies. So it sort of gives us this, I mean, we can definitely see the mint crelly base, but to me anyways, we see lots of undertones of green. And that's why I really, really enjoyed this one. Felt like we had the perfect amount of flakies. BCB Lacquers has been killing it with their flaky polishes, doing such an amazing job. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. A beautiful polish. We're looking at 2 coats of BCB Lacquers. Let's Give 'Em Something to Taco About with a glossy top coat. This is the second polish in the Duo, and this is Don't Go Bacon My Heart. This one is described as a lilac crelly with pink orange and red orange gold green flakes and fuchsia metallic flakes. So a magical flaky polish. We have this gorgeous light lilac base, and it is just jam-packed with all sorts of different flakies that are shifting. 2 coats you guys saw here, I reached full opacity. I think for both polishes, I'm going to recommend 2 to 3 coats for everybody, depending on how you polish, your preference, and all of that. But 2 coats was perfection on me. Again, another soft, pretty color for Valentine's Day, but it gives us this nice little edge because it's so jam-packed with all of these flakies. I'm seeing lots of the golds and the red and the orange flakes. I love how it contrasts against this lighter lilac base, but doesn't steal away from the color that we're seeing. Really enjoyed this one as well. Pictured are 2 coats of BCB Lacquers Don't Go Bacon My Heart with a glossy top coat. Here we have by Danny Viana, and this one is Dreams of Belonging, priced at $14, and there's a cap of 100 bottles. Now you're going to have the option of ordering this separately, or it also is going to come in a duo, and you will see that second polish very soon. This one is, they are continuing their Fruits Baskets series. This one's described as having a white sheer crelly base with blue aurora shimmer, gold iridescent flakes, and yellow and brown irregular glitters. Now you can see here on the swatch, I built it up in 2 coats, which I was very impressed by because this is such a lighter shade. It's actually very versatile, and you can probably use this, you definitely can use this as a topper if you prefer it or layered it with other polishes. But on its own, it's absolutely stunning. It has this wonderful glow from within, this beautiful like touch of sparkle. And then the flakies, they are sort of like sandwiched into the mix, but you can still see them. We see the yellow, right? We see some of that brown, and we don't lose the pigmentation from the flakies with this like creamier, milkier base. Everything is just very soft and sheer and very glowy, and I love that about this polish. Pictured are 2 coats of by Danny Viana Dreams of Belonging with a glossy top coat. Here we have the second polish by Danny Viana, and this is Metta, priced at $14, and there's a cap of 100. So you have the option of purchasing this one on its own, as well as the previous polish on its own, or if you prefer to purchase them together, you are welcome to do that too. There is an option for that on the HHC website. This one is described as a light pink with coralish undertones with purple to pink aurora shimmer. Again, another fantastic formula. You guys saw here 2 coats, and we got this glorious look on the nails. It's this very like freshly manicured nail look that again has this glow from within. We see this very like subtle shift to a like beigey, corally, very slight tint of like brown and like orange, but it's just very fresh and refreshing on the nails, but it also gives us this beautiful pop with that glow, and that's from that aurora shimmer. Pictured are 2 coats of by Danny Viana Metta with a glossy top coat. By Danny Viana is also bringing us a Valentine's Day polish. You're going to get this polish in a cute little bag, which I don't have, but you will see on the website. This one is called Love Me. It is a magnetic polish. So this with the bag will be priced at $26, and there's a cap of 50. This one is described as a wine base with red to black shimmer and red magnetic pigment. We can see on that second coat already we are building up beautiful coverage. I did decide to go in for a third coat because I wanted a deeper base with a very prominent, very in-your-face magnetic strip. That's exactly what I got. Now, when I see this, I definitely think of Valentine's Day, a very like mysterious date night Valentine's Day. I usually am not the one for thermals or magnetic polishes, but the ones that have been coming out, the ones that our makers have been creating, have all been very stunning and very easy to work with, and this polish was definitely easy to work with. I would recommend 2 to 3 coats for everybody, depending on how you polish, you know, what you see on your nails, what you prefer the look to look like, or the finished look to look like. But really enjoyed this one. Very deep and mysterious. Honestly, a polish you can wear in the winter time, and truly for Valentine's Day if you preferred. Pictured are 3 coats of by Danny Viana Love Me with a glossy top coat. Here is Cracked Polish, and this is Follow Me Please, priced at $13, and there's a cap of 200 bottles. They are continuing their Down the Rabbit Hole series. This one is described as a bright turquoise packed with green and blue shimmers and micro hollow glitters. I am in love with the direction that Cracked Polish is heading. They are accomplishing so much. I should say Monique is the maker. She's been creating amazing polishes, and I know a lot of you have been enjoying them. I'm not surprised because the formulations and the colors and finishes are fantastic. I built this polish up in 2 coats. I'm going to say 2 to 3 coats for everybody, but look at this. How glorious. This is definitely screaming winter, screaming January. I love blue polishes in January. I just think they make sense. We can see some shifts here, right? I see some purple shifts, even though it's not described in the description, but I definitely see purple. The micro hollow glitters are giving us all sorts of different colors, but I see some pink in there too. Really enjoyed this one. It was easy to work with. Loving the boldness of the polish and loving that we get some sparkle as well. Pictured are 2 coats of Cracked Polish. Follow Me Please with a glossy top coat. Here we have Cracked Polish again. They are actually bringing us a Valentine's Day polish. This one is called Mad Love. It is actually a magnetic, priced at $13.50, and we have a cap of 300. And this polish is inspired by the Mad Hatter's love for Alice for Valentine's Day. It is an ox blood red with fire red to purple shifting micro sheds in a soft pink magnetic strip. This one had a fantastic formula for a magnetic polish. I built it up in 2 coats. You guys can see here what a lovely finish this has. I am loving those micro shreds. They just give off such a different finish than your regular like shifty flakies. They just like glimmer off of the nail and sparkle just as like glitters or like reflective glitter would, but in a different way. Now the magnetic strip on my nails wasn't as prominent as I know probably a lot of you enjoy. It could be I just didn't leave the magnet on for long enough. I'm usually notorious for doing that. So just keep that in mind. But I personally loved that finish. I loved how we had a more like diffuse look. Usually for magnetic polishes, I tend to go for that look anyways. But I think the star of this show, honestly, is that ox blood red base and those micro sheds that just glimmer when it catches the light. Lovely polish. Perfect for Valentine's Day and for winter. Pictured are 2 coats of cracked polish, Mad Love with the glossy top coats. We are trucking along, guys, and this one is Cuticula. This is called Glade of Trust, priced at $13, and there is no cap. They are continuing their Dreamlight Valleys series, and it's inspired by the Glade of Trust. It's an olive green jelly with a background of green, blue shifting glass flakes, small orange, gold shifting flakes, and pink purple shifting glass flakes. So we have a flaky packed polish, and it is glorious. I built it up in 3 coats. It's typical of Cuticula to have a polish like this built up in 3 coats, which I personally don't mind because things don't get gloopy and chunky, and we're able to see each of the layers of flakies and each of the layers of polish without them being taken away from like our base color or other components in the polish. The olive green base is glorious. You can see I built up the polish in like its full coverage. I'm going to recommend 3 coats for everybody, but this is to me an all year round polish, maybe specifically for like the fall or the winter when I just want something a little like non-traditional. But I am a big fan of like these earthy tones, definitely olive green, and anything that Cuticula does with flakies just always blows it out of the park. So definitely enjoyed it. Pictured are 3 coats of Cuticula, Glade of Trust with the glossy top coats. Here we have Garden Path Lacquers, and this is a single moment, priced at $13.50, and there is no cap. And they are continuing their Bridgerton Dresses series. This one's inspired by Daphne's delicate ethereal blue dress. This one is described as a wispy, shifty blue shimmer base, accented with pastel blue, purple shifting flakes, holographic micro flakes, and blue holographic micro glitter. Now that is a mouthful, but this polish is stunning and everything just flows together so well. I did build it up in 3 coats, and I'm going to recommend 3 coats for everybody. This is literally like glass on the nails. I'm in love with the flakies in here. I got like a big chunky one on my ring finger, but majority of them are pretty much all the same size. We see this beautiful shift to like this purpley sort of shade, but it's very delicate. Because of that holographic micro glitter, we get glimpses of all different colors. And then just like the shifting flakies just give us so much dimension. It's like the description is a lot, but everything just blends in so well together. All the components work with each other, and you just get this beautiful result on the nails, glass on the nails. And I'm not a big fan of like pastel baby blue colors. I know I said that before and plenty of times, but you know, you add a little pizzazz, you throw something special in there like this polish, and I can definitely, run with it. Pictured are 3 coats of Garden Path Lacquers, a single moment with the glossy top coats. Garden Path Lacquers is also bringing us a Valentine's Day polish, and this is You Will Believe in Me, priced at $13.50, and there is no cap. This one's inspired by the 1996 film Romeo and Juliet and the soundtrack. This one has a clear base that suspends with pink purple shifting large particle aurora shimmer. It has fuchsia holographic micro glitter and holographic micro flakies. I love the micro glitter finishes from Garden Path Lacquers. They just do them so well, and they have been doing them so well all year long. I built this one up in 2 coats. I'm going to recommend 2 to 3 for everybody, but you can see here how glorious it looks on 2 coats. We get this nice sheen, this nice glow on the nail. Because of the hollow that is in here, we get glimpses of rainbows. Just a very pretty pink polish that has a touch of sparkle. Really enjoyed this one. You guys will love this for Valentine's Day as well as for spring and summer. Pictured are 2 coats of Garden Path Lacquers, You Will Believe in Me with the glossy top coats. Now we are moving on to Jen and Berries, and this is I Am in Control, priced at $13.50, and there's a cap of 400 bottles. Jen and Berries is continuing their The Expanse series with this polish that's inspired by Naomi Nagata at her bravest. Hopefully I said the last name right, but this one is described as a blurple jelly base with a strong green, teal, blue, purple shifting shimmer, and holographic micro flakies. I built it up in 2 coats. I want to say 2 coats will work for everybody. We have a heaping amount of shifting shimmer in here, and really that is the star of the show, the star of this polish, because we're getting the green, we're getting the teal and the blue. We definitely see the purple, but it's not as prominent because we are working with a similar base. For this to be a jelly polish, it built up wonderfully. I love the sparkle. I love intense shifty polishes, and this one just is definitely that. Pictured are 2 coats of Jen and Berries. I Am in Control with a glossy top coat. Here we have Out Lacquer, and this is Tone It Down Old Man, priced at $12.40. I don't know if that's a typo, because $12.40 sounds a little off, but it says $12.40 on the HHC website, and there is no cap. They are continuing their Bob's Burgers series. It's a gray crelly filled with multi-chrome flakes that shift purple, red, copper, and gold. Now, I built this one up in 3 coats. This is a definite crelly base, so I wanted to get the most of my base and try and build it up to a full coverage look, and I was able to do that on my shorter nails. I think longer nails you can definitely achieve the same look. You may see a little bit of nail line depending on how prominent your smile line is, but I'm loving the beautiful glorious shifts that we're getting, the copper and the gold. I see a little bit of green. The flakies are just so stunning. I love the multi-chrome look on the nail because it gives us this wonderful like flash, this wonderful glow, like almost this like hint of sparkle that is very like mirror-like. But I thought this was a very pretty polish, definitely something for all year round, or honestly I can see this on a like rainy day when you want to add some color but not anything too bright. Pictured are 3 coats of Out Lacquer, Tone It Down Old Man with a glossy top coat. Here we have polish, and this is Sailor Uranus, priced at $14, and there is no cap. They are continuing their Sailor Moon series. This one is described as a deep navy gray packed with golden, copper, pink, green shifting micro flakies. In the first coat we go on a little bit sheer, but on the second coat you can see we are already building up to opacity. We get a heaping amount of those shifting micro flakies. We're seeing a lot of the gold and a lot of the copper. For me, I was happy with this in 2 coats. I think if you're used to doing thin coats, you might want to do 3 thin coats, but 2 was just perfection. I mean, look at this, guys. I love my grungy olive toned shades, and this one was just giving me life. Look at that glow. The shifting micro flakies are stunning. They're jam-packed, so we're seeing a lot of the color from those flakies. That deep navy gray base, we definitely see it, but mostly at certain angles, right? Because the star of this polish is definitely all of those wonderful shifting flakies, and I'm not mad at that because they are stunning. Pictured are 2 coats of polish, Sailor Uranus with a glossy top coat. Polish is also bringing us a Valentine's Day polish, and this is Aremis. I hope I'm saying that right, but it's also inspired by Sailor Moon. There is no cap. It's priced at $14. It is a delicate lavender packed with golden, copper, pink, green shimmer. So Polish always does an amazing job when it comes to their glowy polishes, and this one is definitely glowy. You can see on the second coat we get that beautiful lavender shade. I did 2. Looking back at this, could I have done a 3rd? Probably, but I was happy with it at 2 coats, so I'm going to recommend 2 to 3 for everybody. If you have longer nails, you're probably going to want to go with 3. But I love that green shimmer that contrasts against this lighter, delicate lavender shade. We get some beautiful colors of that gold and the copper. It is just so pretty, so dainty. Another lovely Valentine's Day polish. Pictured are 2 coats of polish, Aremis with a glossy top coat. Here we have Nailed It, and this is Sparkling Aria, priced at $13.50, and there's a cap of 300 bottles. They are continuing their Pokemon series. This one's inspired, they're not inspired. This one is described as a pale blue base with a teal shimmer, and it's packed with pink, gold, purple, blue, and gold green crystal flakies. If you haven't tried Nailed It in their flaky polishes, oh guys, you don't know what you're missing. They just do like glowy, soft, flaky polishes so well. Now I went in for 3 coats. If you want a more opaque look, you're going to want to go in for 3 coats. If you're looking for more of a like transparent sort of, you know, glowy look, then probably 2 coats would work best for you. But here we're working with 3 coats. I was lucky enough this day to have swatched with some sun, so you guys are getting some nice glimpses of this polish in the sunlight. But this has a glorious like pale blue base, and just look at all those flakies. They are so colorful, so pretty, so dainty, and they just blend in so well with this base color. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Picture our 3 coats of Nailed It Sparkling Aria with a glossy top coat. Here we have a Sassy Sauce polish, and this is Plot Twist, priced at $13, and there's a cap of 300 bottles, and they are continuing their Shoes series. This one's described as a silver flaky hollow reflective topper, which will be opaque in 2 to 3 coats. I actually built this one up on its own. I didn't top it over anything. I think it is beautiful on its own, and I would totally wear this as a full mani on its own. Would I use it as a topper? Probably, maybe. I'm not a big topper girl, but on its own, like, come on, look at this. You know I love my glitter. I love my anything sparkly. So this is definitely up my alley. The formula was beautiful. 2 coats, you guys see right here. We get that heaping amount of hollow all over the nail. This is not even in sunlight, and you can already see the glorious rainbows. Oh my goodness. Totally in love with this one. Maybe this one might be my New Year's Eve mani. Pictured our 2 coats of Sassy Sauce Plot Twist with a glossy top coat. We are moving on to Sassy Sauce again, but this is going to be their Valentine's Day Duo. So they're going to come together. You'll see the other polish very shortly. Priced at $26, and there's a cap of 200 bottles. This one is called Risque, and it's described as a deep red with a dusting of hollow. Another one that I thoroughly enjoyed. 2 coats, you guys can see it built up beautifully. I'm going to recommend 2 to 3 for everybody, just in case you want something a little bit deeper. But that dusting of hollow is so dainty, but definitely makes a statement. It is juicy and plump. The color is just the perfect shade, like that in-between shade of berry, pink, and red. And I think it looks so well against my skin tone. Another polish that I definitely want to wear again very soon as a full mani. Pictured are 2 coats of Sassy Sauce Risque with a glossy top coat. This is the second polish in the duo, and this is Talk Flirty to Me. This is a lightly tinted purple base with a strong pinky red golden shimmer and contrasting flakies. So we see on that first coat we go on very sheer. On the second coat we're building up to that purple base. To me, I feel like this definitely leans more pinkish, like a hot pink with a drop of purple in there. But 3 coats, you see the final look here. Those flakies in the polish just remind me of like glass flakies, like almost like shards of flakies. Nothing is going to be poking at you or standing up or anything like that. Everything will lay nice and flat and smooth. You can see the golden shimmer. It's almost looking orange here. It just gives me sunset vibes. I love how the flakies put a spin on this polish, and even though this is a very like feminine, dainty color, those flakies just give it some pizzazz and make it like such a fun polish. Pictured our 3 coats of Sassy Sauce Talk Flirty to Me with the glossy top coats. Here we have Victorian Varnish, and this is Hibernal. Hopefully I'm saying that right too. This is a magnetic polish. It's priced at $13.50 and capped at 300 bottles. They are continuing their Gothic Windows series. This one is a sparkly silver magnetic, or has a sparkly silver magnetic line when it's magnetized, and has an intense blue glowy shimmer. And I must agree with all of that. I decided to go in for 3 coats just because I wanted a more intense base. Sorry about the shaky camera, but you know how it is, my kiddos. But look at this. Can we talk about that silver magnetic line? It is definitely in charge. I am notorious for not holding my magnet on for a long time, but even with not doing that, we still get this very strong, prominent line. I think my favorite part is just the contrasting effect that we're getting. It really looks like a wintry polish, especially with the blue and the silver effect. So pretty, very unique. It's not something that I have in my collection, and I can definitely see myself wearing this in the winter time. Pictured are 3 coats of Victorian Varnish, Hibernal with the glossy top coats. Victorian Varnish is bringing us a Valentine's Day Duo. So there's 2 polishes. They'll be priced at $27, and there's a cap of 120 bottles. So first up we have Hunka Hunka. This one has a clear base with pink, blue, purple Aurora shimmers, pink, blue, purple. Oh my god, I have brain freeze. Pink, blue, purple UCC flakies, and scattered hollow. This one was so much fun to work with. This one you can definitely wear on its own, or wear it or pair it with another polish, wear it as a topper. I built it up in 3 coats, and I got this fun, lovely look. We're seeing lots of purple, lots of pink. The scattered hollow gives us this nice, like, sparkly, glowy touch. Definitely a polish for Valentine's Day, for the springtime, and for the summertime as well. Loving all the contrasting that we're getting with the flakies. I love the dark, I love the bright. Everything just works so well together. Pictured are 3 coats of Victorian Varnish, a Hunka Hunka with the glossy top coats. This is the second polish. This one's called Burning Love, and I'm sorry I lost the footage of the first coat, but this is the second application. Moving on to the 3rd coat right here. I'm going to recommend 3 coats for everybody, but Burning Love has a clear base with red, orange, gold, bronze Aurora shimmers. It also has red, orange, gold, bronze UCC flakies, and scattered hollow. So I feel like this is just the opposite of Hunka Hunka, but just in a more bronzy gold sort of color. You can see the hollow way more than we can see it in Hunka Hunka, but honestly I think it's just because of the different color base that we're working with here. This one was stunning. I feel like it's not your traditional Valentine's Day polish, which I personally love. This one for me screams fall and Halloween, as well as something that I would wear in the winter when I want to steer away from like my vampy colors or my like blue polishes that I like to wear in January. But these were both lovely. You can definitely wear them both on their own, or you can wear them like layered over a polish as a topper. Pictured are 3 coats of Victorian Varnish, Burning Love with a glossy top coat. Here we have Penelope Loose. This is actually their Valentine's Day Duo. So there's 2 polishes priced at $25, and there's a cap of 200 bottles. We are starting out with True Love, and this one is a silver magnetic with dark purple shimmer and hollow flakies. So I'm going to show you this one on its own, and then I'll show you the second polish topped over True Love. But you can see here, look at when the magnet hovers over the nail, all of that pigment just transforms. We do get this lovely silver magnetic strip across the nail. You guys will see that shortly on the finished product, or the finished look. The second coat we get full opacity, so I'm going to recommend 2 coats for everybody. Again, look at how deep and bright the polish gets, and we get that lovely silver magnetic strip. Did I say this already? The amount of coats? I think 2 to 3 for everybody will be fine. I was happy with it on my shorter nails. I feel like anytime I try a Penelope Loose polish, I look at it in the bottle and I'm like, oh, this will be nice. And then I try it on my nails and I am completely and utterly obsessed. It's just one of those polishes where one of those brands actually, and like until you have it on your nails, you're not really going to enjoy it or love it as much as it is in the bottle than it is on your nails. It's just one of those. So that was 2 coats of Penelope Loose True Love. Now we're moving on to Cupid's Kiss. I topped it over True Love. This one is a green purple sparkle shimmer, and it has hollow purple glitter. Here you can see it on the ring finger, topped over True Love, and then it's 2 coats on the other fingers. So it is a very sheer polish. You can obviously wear it on its own if you prefer. Or you can use it as a topper like I did over True Love, and it just adds some more depth, some more shimmer, some more color to the nail. This is Cupid's Kiss topped over black, and look at how glorious that looks. It is very sparkly. We get a lot of that green purple shimmer. Mostly we're seeing a lot of that green, and then the hollow purple glitter just gleaming from within. It is absolutely stunning. Penelope Loose is also bringing us Persephone, and this is continuing their Goddesses of Mythology series. Priced at $13, and this is a cap of 200 bottles. It is a dark, deep grape with purple shimmer. On that first coat, we go on a little bit sheer, looks a little bit streaky, but on the second coat, it makes up for that. We get full coverage, full opacity, and we get this beautiful dark, like grape jelly base on the nail. This is like your perfect winter polish. It is on the vampier side, but it has this lovely bounce, this lovely brightness to it. We see the purple shifts with this polish, and it's so pretty. It just makes my nails, I love like dark colors on short nails. I just feel like it's classic, it looks put together, and it just looks very sharp. Love this one, love the depth of it, love the shifts that we're seeing. Pictured are 2 coats of Penelope Loose, Persephone with the glossy top coats. And here we have Zombie Claw, and this is Octo, priced at $13.50, and this is a cap of 100 bottles. They are continuing their Powerpuff Girls series, and this one's inspired by Bubbles' octopus. This one has a periwinkle base loaded with different types of blue, purple flakies. Definitely a fun polish. Now I went in for 3 coats just because this is very flaky dense, and I wanted to get the most of my base and get it to a nice opaque finish. You're definitely going to want to use a glitter smoother than a glossy top coat just because it's so flaky heavy. But this is screaming January for me, screaming winter. I love my blues and my blurples for the colder months, and this one is going to put a fun spin on that for sure. I'm going to recommend 3 coats for everybody if you want a more opaque look, but loving all the colors that we're seeing here, the pink and the purple and the teal. Very fun. Loved this one. Picture are 3 coats of Zombie Claw Octo with the glossy top coats. All right, so lots of polishes this month, lots that I really enjoyed, but I'm like looking over because that's where they're at. I had to think about this one. I chose three. First one being from Polish, and this is Sailor Uranus. I want to say that the bad way, but I'm not. Of course, I love these grungy sort of shades. I feel like I can wear this when I'm just in a like blah mood, but want something spicy and fun, maybe not like traditional for like the holidays, but absolutely loved it. Love the shifts and the flakies. I have Garden Path Lacquers. This is their Valentine's polish. This is You Will Believe in Me. I love these micro finishes that Garden Path Lacquers has been creating. They just have been all year long. Like all of the polishes have just been amazing. And then Out Lacquer. This is Tone It Down Old Man. Just a nice like smoky finish, and it has this pop of color with those purple flakies in there, that shift. I really enjoyed this one. All right, everybody, that is all that I have for you today. Let me know what you are planning on picking up for this month. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.